Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Big Larry here today. Wow, it's October 26th on Jack's Private Coffee Corner. Today there's no intro with the coffee. Why? Because we don't have time. Holy shoot, what's going on with the cryptos today? This is awesome, huh? Yeah, this is great. This is a perfect example of one of the universal laws that I have observed for many years, and that law is simply movement begets movement. What does that mean? Well, when one thing moves, other things start to move. A very simple example of this is if you've ever been sitting in like a waiting room at a hospital or a clinic or a dentist office, and everyone's sitting there comfortable reading a magazine, doing whatever. And then a new person walks into the room. You'll notice at least one person in the room will shift around in their seat, or they'll move around or something. Because that new person entered the room, it will change the energy in the room and people will move. It's very interesting. I've observed it a lot. That's just a very simple example. Whenever energy of any kind is introduced into a situation or a process, it will cause other things to move. So I noticed Bitcoin is moving today. Moved good. Now I took every day at a certain time I take just the prices of things, right? I got my little basket of coins I look at in comparison to Bitcoin. Now today, when I looked, it was $9,853 Bitcoin. I heard it spiked up over 10,000. I didn't see the spike. I was out carving pumpkins today, so sometime during the pumpkin carving time, it spiked up. But when I took my reading, it was 9,853. I think it's down a little bit now. Maybe at this time, it's about 5:10 p.m. in the evening. I think it's around 94 something, 9,400 something. But anyway, I'm just going to use the numbers that I took earlier today. And maybe, well, I think the prices of all of the cryptos have gone down just a tiny bit, but what I've got here is a pretty good snapshot of what happened in the market today. Of course, the day's not over. It's the 26th here in Asia and maybe in Europe, but it's not the 26th yet in America. Well, let's see. Looking at it, I believe it's 3 in the morning in Central Standard Time. So everyone's still asleep. Maybe they know about this big pump in the market. Maybe they don't. Okay, what's my take on this? Well, I just put a video out yesterday talking about the prices over the last several days. There were a number of coins getting stronger. Stellar, Cardano, EOS, XRP, and OMG were on a stronger trend. They were increasing in value. Of course, today, all the prices are up. However, in comparison to Bitcoin, they've actually lost a pretty good amount of value. But if I look at the numbers, and I don't always check percentage increases, but today I did. Bitcoin increased 31% from yesterday. So like I said, I take a snapshot at a certain time and I input those coin prices into my Excel spreadsheet. And then today's snapshot is a comparison with yesterday, simply with yesterday. So Bitcoin I can see is up 31%. That's good. Bitcoin Cash 26%. The next big one is NEO. NEO is up 26%. NEO went from 698 to 885. NEO. If you've been watching my videos at all, you know I really like NEO. NEO, Tezos, and OMG are 3 of the coins that I've found have very beautiful patterns when you look at the charts as far as their prices going up and down. Let's see, I don't know if I said a person should buy NEO yesterday or not. I think I said OMG would be a good buy. And OMG increased 14% in one day. However, NEO 26%, so that would have been a better deal. Okay, What else we got here? Litecoin is up 21%. EOS up 23%. Those are the biggest gainers, right? You've got Bitcoin leading the pack with 31% increase. Then you've got Bitcoin Cash and NEO both at 26. Excuse me. Then we have Litecoin at 21.7%, so almost 22%. Like I said, EOS is 23%, a little bit of ahead of Litecoin. And then everything else, let's see. Well, XRP is up 10%. Cardano 12%. Tezos is up 17%. That's pretty nice. Tezos is a coin that I like a lot, just because it's been very, very good to me. And I'm sure it will be very good to me in the future. Okay, and which one? Oh, Stellar. Stellar is only up 8.75%. So Stellar's lagging behind. It was doing really well the last couple days. If I compare it to, say, 2 weeks ago, it was in a very strong price trend. Of course, it's gone up, you know, from yesterday, but just not as much as Bitcoin. So I know a lot of people give a lot of advice about this coin or that coin. You should get it. It'll go up more than Bitcoin. Well, that's not going to happen for a while. I think probably for the next month or two, Bitcoin will still be where you want to be. It'll have, but it has very big swings, right? Very big swings. It's very volatile, and you have to really have your price targets in mind if you're going to mess around with trading in and out of Bitcoin, right? I think for Bitcoin has to be one of those deals where you just say, well, I don't mind getting rid of a certain percentage of my Bitcoin if the price hits this. And if it hits that and I sell it, and even if it shoots to the moon, I'll be happy. If you can find a price target, some number that you feel that way about, go for it. That's the way to do it. Okay. Now, I do think in the next couple of months, a number of these coins will be very, very good for doing some strategic trading. Remember, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just giving my opinion on what's going on here in the market. But I will be keeping my eye very closely on my favorites, NEO, Tezos, and OMG. Let's see, EOS. EOS is also one that I look at because I have a very low entry point on it. So it doesn't take much for me to come out ahead with EOS. Okay, that's what we got going in the crypto market today. Pretty fascinating. Like I said, movement begets movement. I think from here on out, we're going to see the momentum increase. There will be an increase in momentum. Hey, and wasn't there some anonymous person on Twitter? No, maybe it wasn't Twitter, but I saw it on Twitter. It was an anonymous account. They posted the prices of what Bitcoin would be for certain months, and I believe for October it's 16,000. And yeah, so far the person's been right. The first two predictions they gave came true. The third one will be October here. So I see no reason why Bitcoin could not hit 16. The fun thing is that it'll pull all of the other coins along with it up. So if you're going to be doing some trading, you know, you'd better have your plan all laid out, right? And decide when the price of this coin hits this price, I'm going to sell this percent, and be very specific with what you want to do. Okay. Okay, I think in the next couple months there will be some very big swings with Bitcoin up and down. I do think we will hit this $16,000. Seems no reason why we wouldn't. And along with that, lots of the other coins will raise up with Bitcoin's boat, right? All boats will rise together. Bitcoin will kind of pull everybody up. The only advice I have for you, and this is not financial advice, is that you need to have very specific targets in mind. I see a lot of chatter on different forums where people are saying, yeah, when XRP hits this price, I'm going to unload, I'm going to get rid of this percent. That's great. You know, have those targets in mind, have a plan and stick to your plan. And one of the biggest things that I see mess people up is when they get all emotional about this. You can't be emotional about this. Why? Because a lot of these coins are heavily manipulated. I've talked about that in previous videos. I've actually seen, my spirit guides have shown me the manipulation. I've seen numerous scenarios of people in rooms. Sometimes it's a couple people who are manipulating things. Sometimes it's a larger group of people who are manipulating things. And some of these groups, after they make their decisions on how to manipulate things, they actually send out like a memo. I would imagine it's an email or something. Maybe I'm guessing they don't do it the same way, you know, you and I would send an email back and forth. They may have a more sophisticated method of communication, but there is some memo, I'll call it a memo because that's how it looked to me when I saw it, telling whoever is an insider in their group, you might call these people elites or whatever, I don't know, and they have price targets with dates for these people. So you and I did not get that memo. We don't know what the prices are. We don't know what the dates are. However, I think most people can understand that these coins are heavily manipulated. There was just some news a few days ago about someone in the current administration in America talking about how the price of Bitcoin was manipulated after the high at the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, right? That didn't surprise me at all. That was almost like a non-news event, but some people took it really hard and they were surprised by it. Hey, how can they manipulate these things? Cryptocurrencies are supposed to be, you know, decentralized. No one can mess with them. Well, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. Someone will always mess with things if there is the chance for extreme profit involved. And this is not only an opportunity for people to profit, this is an opportunity for people to get in on the ground floor of this new money system, right? This new money system will be the system that moves forward from here. And they know that. So there was this extreme manipulation taking place. Why? Because all of their members of their club were not on board yet. Okay? They wanted to get everyone on board at a certain price. And I'd be willing to bet that the people who manipulated all of this in order to let their members get on at a certain price were also rewarded in some way, you know, financially or whatever, for that manipulation and for keeping the price down long enough for these members to get in. And I actually have an idea of what some of those, some of the things were that they received as gifts for doing that. Almost, I guess you call it a commission, you know, you hold things down so everyone can jump on. Anyway, that's a different topic for a different talk, and it doesn't really matter to me because it's not part of my life. Okay, so you have to understand that things are heavily manipulated, and for that reason you can't become emotional about it. You have to keep your wits about you. You make a plan. May not be the best plan, but at least you have a plan, and as you work your plan, you can adjust, right? So if you decide to sell, let's say, just for example, you're going to sell 10% of your XRP when it hits $1. Okay? So you get on an exchange, boom, it's at $1, you sell 10%, and then in the next 2 hours it shoots to $2.50. Are you going to beat yourself up over the fact that you sold and then 2 hours later it went to $2.50? No, because you're not a knucklehead, right? You've got a plan, you work your plan. You decided that plan. Don't beat yourself up over it, okay? You can't get emotional. You get emotional about this stuff, and that's how you lose everything, trust me. Okay, And I understand it can be very nerve-wracking to actually push the button to hit that, yeah, I'm going to sell these coins, hit the sell button at that price. I understand it's nerve-wracking. It's just something we all have to go through, right? Get over it. If you're having a hard time with it, don't sell 10% at $1. Pick a lower amount. Pick 4%, pick 3%. I don't know. Pick whatever you want that you do it and you just get it out of your system, right? You can say, okay, bam, I did it. It's over with. I can't do anything about it. Maybe you'd feel better instead of 10% doing just 3 or 4%. So get used to it, all right? Don't be a baby about it. Don't beat yourself up over it. That's just how it is. Things are manipulated, and all we're trying to do is work together to take our own piece of the pie out, to make our lives better, right? And by making our lives better, well, how are we making our lives better? Well, you're getting more money, right? You're getting money. The reason we're all doing this is basically to get more money, to get more value, to get more energy out of the system. What is that energy? What is that value? What does that money give us? It's not going to make us happy. If you think, you know, if you had 1,000 Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes to 100,000, you'll be a super rich guy, but you won't be happy. If you're not happy now, you won't be happy with all that money. So anyway, you just have to realize that this energy, this money, this value that you will be receiving will allow you to make more choices in life, right? It'll just expand your choices, that's all. You know, do you want to live in a house that's $100,000 or do you want to live in a house that's $500,000? I can tell you, I've been looking at a lot of houses online for the last, I'll say 10 years. And I looked at a lot of property here in Japan. Oh boy, I think I spent 6 years looking at property. And I finally gave up because I realized even if you spend $2 to $3 million here in Japan, you won't get anything. Now, when I say you won't get anything, you won't get anything close to the standards I want to live to. Okay? Now, if I was in America and I bought a house, depending on where you are, right? You could buy a house for $500,000 or less, and it would be tremendous value for me. If you wanted to recreate that same house, that same $500,000 house in Japan, you might spend $10 to $15 million to do it. So I just decided, oh, okay, after that many years of looking, I realized I'm looking in the wrong place. Okay, so I've looked at a lot of houses around the world. I no longer keep my search just to Japan or just to America. I'm looking worldwide. And I know that, oh, Jesus, if I had this much money, now the number of places I can live has expanded. So the more money you get, the more energy you get out of cryptocurrencies, the more choices you have. You may not have to just think, am I going to live in Georgia? Or what can I find in Texas? That may expand to what am I going to look for in the United States? Or what am I going to look for in the Northern Hemisphere, right? So your choices will significantly increase with the more money, the more energy you have. That's what money is doing. It's just giving us the ability to make more choices, more varied choices. I don't want to say better choices because that's up to an individual's tastes and whatnot. Okay, so enough about that. So have a plan with cryptos and work your plan. Don't get emotional. Remember, this stuff is heavily manipulated. Not every coin, I know Bitcoin is, I know XRP is, and I know a few others are. All right, because I've seen it. My spirit guides have shown it to me. And when they show me things like that, they have a very good track record because I've been able to check other things they've shown me, and I've known, or I realized that what they told me was 100% on. Okay, and some things in great detail. So when I'm shown something now, I accept it. All right, there's a good track record there. Okay, so there's manipulation. Don't let emotions get a hold of you. That's not going to be good. Have a plan and you work your plan. And like I said, if you're going to be gun shy on hitting the old sell button, decrease the number of coins you let go. You don't have to let go of them all right now, right? I mean, a lot of us have waited, what, about 2 years now, maybe more than 2 years. We got into cryptos either when they were really cheap or when they were high. And then we watched everything go down and down and down and down and down and down. And we've hodled like crazy, right? We've hodled like crazy. So you've done it this long. If you have to wait a little bit longer to let go of some of your stacks there, then so be it, right? Okay. So this is just my my quick October 26th update on cryptos. I was very happy to see this price action today in the market because, like I said, movement begets movement. I think this is the start of something good. For those of you who know Aura Wright, she's the astrology chick. She puts out a crypto timing report, and I believe she had today's date as one of the big days that Bitcoin would move. So man, Aura, you nailed that one. Awesome. And I'm very lucky that Aura's my friend, and Aura gave me a link. If you go down in my description box of this video here, you'll see a link to Aura's November crypto timing report. You're going to want to get your hands on that because next month I believe is going to be crazy in the crypto space. And if you look right under the link, there is a discount code. I believe the discount code is BigLair10. You will get 10% off of the crypto timing report just by clicking on my link and putting in that discount code, okay? Okay, so hope everybody has a great weekend. It's Saturday here. It'll be Saturday soon enough for the rest of you. Let's hope these things continue to skyrocket, huh? Okay, take care, everybody.